Hello friends, we will continue with our exercises of chapter 13, title is light. So in the last two videos, I had explained to you the answers of questions number 1 to 8. Okay, now we'll come to question number 9 and then we'll try to attempt other questions also. So describe the construction of a kaleidoscope. So this is the question number 9. Construction of a kaleidoscope. Now if you recall, you may have seen a kaleidoscope is basically a small toy. There are 3 pieces of glasses that have been joined, 3 pieces of glasses of equal size, and they join to form a prism. Okay, so on this side of this is kept in a cardboard tube. This side there is a cover which is a small hole. On the other side there is a ground, what they call ground glass, and then a glass plate, and in between the ground glass and the glass plate there are certain beads or broken pieces of the bangles. When you look through them, because images are being formed on 3 mirrors, you get multiple designs, symmetrical designs. And when you change the position of the kaleidoscope, the position of the beads or the bangles will change and you will get different design. Every time you will get a different design. So how do we make it? So we can say we take 3 glass strips of equal size. So that is the first step. We take 3 glass strips of equal size, say 15 centimeter to 4 centimeter. 15 centimeter, 4 centimeter. That's the first step. Then we join them and form a prism. The prism will look like this from one side. When you look from one side, all the 3 pieces will be joined in the shape of a triangle. So then we put this prism made of 3 glass strips into a cardboard tube, or we cover it with a thick paper, chart paper. On one side, we'll put a cardboard disc with a hole in it. Through that hole, we will look into the kaleidoscope. And we will cover that cardboard disc by a transparent sheet of plastic, so that the glass disc, the cardboard disc will remain fixed to the tube and it will not get damaged. On the other side, first we will put a plain glass disc. We'll fix that on the other side. After the glass disc, we'll put certain pieces of broken bangles of different colors. And on top of it, we'll put a glass disc of ground glass. Ground glass means slightly whitish in color. So there are 2 discs. One disc which is plain glass, and the other disc is ground glass which is white in color. And between these 2 discs, we'll put those pieces of bangles or beads, and then we will fix it properly. So when you look through this hole in the cardboard disc, which is on the one side, you will be looking at the beads which are now between the 2 glass plates. One glass plate is a plain glass plate and the other is a ground glass plate. And when you look through it, you will get multiple designs. And when you slightly move, the position of the beads will change and the design will change. Every time you will get a new design. So this is how you construct a kaleidoscope. Okay? So that's your question number 9. Construction of a kaleidoscope. How do you construct a kaleidoscope? So if you have 3 glass strips of equal size, 2 discs, one of plain glass and other of the ground glass, then you can make this kaleidoscope at home also. And you will need some broken bangle pieces to put them in the kaleidoscope between the 2 glass discs, which will be fixed to one end, on one end of the kaleidoscope. Now we come to question number 10. Question number 10 is, what's question number 10? Draw a labeled sketch of the human eye. Okay, what you have to do is you have to make a drawing of the human eye. And if you look at page number, I have an old book, this is page number is 206. In the new book, the number may be different. The picture number is 13.14. New book and 16.14 in old book. There the picture of the eye is given. You will have to do some practice to draw that correctly and remember which part is where. So this is a question of doing some practice. Once you practice, you can draw the eye almost correctly. Question number 11. Gurmeet wanted to perform the activity 13.8 using the laser torch. Achha, what is the activity 13.8? Okay, 13.8. What the students have done is they are trying to see how the pupil will dilate or shrink when light, the intensity of the light changes. For example, if you throw a beam of bright light on your eye, the pupil will shrink so that more light does not enter the eye. Now what the question is, Gurmeet wanted to perform this activity using a laser torch. Now one student wants to put the laser beam into the eye of other student and the teacher says, no, you can't do it. Why can't you do it? Because laser beam is a very strong light. And if you throw laser beam into your own eye or into the eye of your friend, the eye can get damaged. The laser beam can damage the retina of the eye. So the person's eye can get damaged. So you should never throw laser beam into your own eye or into the eye of any other person. Because the laser beam being very strong, it can damage the eye. Okay? So that is the second, that is question number 11. Why you can't use laser beam? Because laser beam can damage your eye. Explain how you can take care of your eyes. That is very interesting. Everyone should know it. How can we take care of our eyes? First thing, when we read, the distance between the paper we read and the eye should be at least 25 centimeter. The distance should be distance between I and the paper or book that we read at least 25 centimeters. Second thing, if the doctor has advised you to wear specs, you must wear the specs. So wear specs if advised by the doctor. Third, the light when you read a book or paper, it should not be too bright or too dim. Light should not be very bright or dim when we read. Fourth is, the light should fall on the paper we are reading, not on our eyes. So our back should be towards the light and our face should be on the book so that the light falls on the book. The light should fall on the book or paper. Book or paper we are reading. We should not look at very bright lights like sun. Avoid looking at sun. Or, as we said in the earlier question, do not throw a laser beam into your eye. Don't look into a laser beam. Don't look into the sun or laser beam. If you look into a laser beam, the eye can get damaged. Okay? 6. If something falls into our eye, a dust particle or an insect, we should not rub the eye. We should wash it with clean water. So we don't rub the eye and clean it with clean water. Wash it with clean water. We could say, don't rub the eye if something falls if something enters the eye. Something could be an insect or dust particle. We should wash it with clean water. We should wash eye with clean water. Then we should not watch TV or look at the phone screen or computer screen for long duration at a stretch. We must take a break in between. Okay? Then we can do some exercises to keep the eye healthy. There are certain exercises that we can do to keep our eye healthy. So these are some of the points that you need to do if you have to take care of your eye. Now we'll come to our next question, which is about the angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Question number 13. What is the angle of incidence of a ray if the reflected ray is at an angle of 90 degree to the incident ray? This is a mirror and this is the normal, a line which is at 90 degree to the surface of the mirror, and this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. Angle between these two is 90 degree, between incident ray and the reflected ray. So what is the angle of incidence? We have to find out what is this angle. The total angle is 90 degree. Now we know, let us say this is angle I and this is angle R. Now we know angle I is equal to angle R always. Because the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So I plus R is equal to 90 degree given. Now I is equal to R. Therefore I plus I is equal to 90 degree. This R we change into I because both angles are equal. 2I is equal to 90 degree. Therefore I is equal to 90 degree divided by 2 is equal to 45 degree. So this is 45 degree and this is 45 degree. Because both angles are equal, if we divide 90 by 2, we get 45 degrees. So this is the angle of incidence, which is also equal to the angle of reflection. So that is question number 13. So let's come to question number 14, and then I think we can close this video and not make it very longish. Question number 14. How many images of a candle will be formed if it is placed between two plane mirrors separated by 40 degree centimeter? So this is one plane mirror and this is another plane mirror, and the distance between them is 40 centimeter. And we place let us say a candle here. So how many images will be formed? Now in this mirror, the image will be formed here and this image will be formed here in this mirror. Now this image will be reflected here also. So there will be image somewhere here, and this image will be reflected here also, the image here. Now this will be reflected here and this will be reflected here. So it will continue indefinitely. Every image will be reflected in the other mirror and that image will be reflected in this mirror. So we will have infinite number of images. अनंत, अनगिनत, infinite मतलब अनंत, अनगिनत. You can't count the images that are formed between two mirrors which are placed parallel to each other. They have to be parallel to each other. And if an object is placed between them, so the number of images will be infinite, anant, unginat. You can't count the number of images that would be formed in these two mirrors. So that is your question number 14. Okay, I think now it's a fairly long video. I'll close it here, and the remaining 3 questions we'll do in the next video. Okay, you please like my video, share it with your friends, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.